Hey, what's going on, folks? It's another beautiful day to bill search. I got a pretty good stack of $2 notes. They seem to be pretty mixed as far as serial numbers are concerned. And I got about $300 worth from the bank. So let's jump right into checking out these $2 notes, see if we find anything that is an error note or collectible or worth more than face value. 2017 A Series $2 note. Seems like most of these are in okay condition. Nothing in the serial number there. We're going to rapid fire through these since you guys have watched my other videos on twos. If you want kind of more detailed, in-depth information on more like how the two is made up, the paintings that were used, stuff like that, I do have a video that covers pretty much everything on $2 banknotes. Nothing on that guy. This one's from the same stack. 2017 A was a really large run. This little discoloration up at the top here, it's right here and right here. That's where they put it into the money counting machine where it feeds it through by grabbing it with the little teeth. So that's what that is. It's not a production error. Nothing on the back. These are all actually from, well, not all of them, but the first ones are all from that same run. Really clean looking twos. I use them for birthdays and Christmas and for the younger kids and stuff like that. I keep usually a few $2 bills at the shop to give away as change if people want them. It's kind of funny because $2 bills have been around just for so long, and a lot of people still think that they're like some mystical unicorn of the banking world. And they're like, wait, a two? What do you mean? You know, and you're like, dude, don't do Jefferson disrespect like that. These are all from that 097 run, so it looks like they break up once we get a little bit further down here. So bear with me, but hey, we might find something that's in this kind of sequential order of bills here that is worth some moolah. Nothing really crazy here. There was some controversy around the painting on the back of the $2 note. You should look that up. It's an interesting story that kind of gives an ode to some of the more positive and negative parts of our U.S. history here in the United States. But it's very interesting, so it's a good read. Basically a date note, or is a date note, 10/23/1082. I mean, the U.S. was not a country yet, but I'll set it aside and, you know, we can check it out, see if anything just kind of cool happened on that date. But I like to stick to birthday notes, you know, stuff like if this was 10/23/1999, that'd be a good one. Or historical dates. If this fell on an actually, like, historically important date specifically for the U.S., then it might command a little bit of money over face value. Nothing jumping out so far, but I will set aside that other bill just because it's kind of a small find, and I'll look it up and put it in the description box, but nothing worth more than face value. Beat up 2013 A series, so quite a bit older than the other ones. This little discoloration on here at first sight looks like it could be an ink smear, but it is not. That looks like pen mark. Really close to a repeater here if we would have had 7-9 on the end there, so maybe we'll get lucky as we look through the other like 100 and some odd $2 notes in the various videos I'll make, and we'll find its counterpart that's 1179. Printed pretty clean though. I mean, things to look for would be shifts and stuff like that. Little bit of an excess ink there on the 7. It's kind of funky, but not enough for me to hold on to it. 2017 A also. Nothing on the back of the note. And not a date note, no real repetition going on there. A little bit of a shift in the serial numbers to the right. As you can see in that seal there, it's kind of sitting just a tad over to the right, the Department of the Treasury seal, the green one. But nothing jumping out. Back of the note. Nothing too crazy. Hey, alright, a beat up, kind of quasi-radar note. 6447446. It would have been nice if we would have had zeros or maybe 2 sevens in the middle or something like that to make it a true radar. But it is a radar note. I wouldn't say with the condition it's worth much more than face value, maybe a buck or two. But it is really neat, and you can see kind of the deterioration of color of the rest of the note and how prevalent the color is on the seals and serial numbers, because at the end of the day, those are the most important portions of the note to identify it as an individual banknote. So it kind of shows our printing process. It's 3-phase. Some things are printed in, some things are printed on the bill. And so that kind of goes to show why some parts of a banknote might deteriorate quicker than others. 2013, nothing really crazy in there. Folded up kind of funky. Somebody doesn't know how to fold. They're like, hey, let me fold it in half. All messed up. And nothing on the back. And close to a broken ladder. It would have been nice if we would have had a 7 in there. Well, we needed 2, so I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. It's early. But we're a few digits away from a broken ladder. If it would have been like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that would have been pretty stellar. Or if we would have got rid of that 0 and added a 2, and we dropped the 9 and added a 7, so we're like 2 digits off. But it's something to keep an eye out for, and especially on $2 notes, ladders are worth a bit more than, say, on like a $1 note. I sold a really clean ladder that went from 0 to 7 on a $2 note. It was a 2017A, maybe a year ago. But it was super crisp, and I sold it for $50 to a person. So then again, they collected ladders, but that's a huge jump over the $2 face value. So to kind of give an idea of what they could be worth. And then I sold a radar $20 note. It's probably my biggest sell for 300 some odd dollars for something that I sold straight out of like an ATM. Nothing crazy jumping out on the front there. Back of the note. John Trumbull's painting of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Nothing nuts there. Bicentennial 2s are something that, you know, can command some value as well. If they're either in just really good condition, you get them graded, or they have a, well, of course an error, but a fancy serial number. There. Getting down there, but what a great bill search so far, and we have a ton of 2s to go through. Nothing jumping out from that one. And nothing on the back. A little bit of 2s and 9s repetition in there, but unless it's in a serious pattern, it's not going to command any face value, or any more over face value. Sitting a little bit higher on the bill, but as long as there's margins showing, it's acceptable. Nothing there. A little bit of a shift down in the seals, but as long as they're sitting on top of the word 2, once again, in acceptable range. These are all from a kind of a same run as well, with the 1156 in the front. A little bit of an over ink on this 5. That's something to keep an eye out for. Let me get out of the light. It's very slight, so this one's not going to be a keeper for me, but if you've watched any of my videos, we've come across quite a few bills that have over inks on them. I would keep a hold of those if they're really, really heavy. 2017 A series as well, so it looks like most of them were 2003, 2017. And been folded in the center, so that kind of detracts from value if it was collectible. Nothing on the back. Getting down there to the last few. Good repetition of 8s in this one, but not a fancy serial number. Same dealio as the previous one. You can see how it's kind of deteriorated around the seals and serial numbers, but not so much them. Kind of a neat serial number. If we would have had a 6 in there instead of a 5, I would have kept it because it would have been able to be read upside down and right side up. That's another form of serial number. But not the case here, but keep an eye out for those. Those can be worth, like in this case, you can sell those for 15, 20 bucks, which is great. And nothing there. And 2017A, really clean note, minus being kind of folded up on the edge here. Back of the note. I think it's weird that you don't see as many wet ink transfers with $2 notes either. I mean, when you go through ones, maybe because they produce so many of them, they're like, yeah, whatever. And they're coming in hot, just producing millions of them. But $2 bills, I don't see a lot of, like, where a 2, during the process of making them, was sitting on top of it like this, and when an ink transferred over. I don't really see that too much. So maybe it's just kind of a... I'll have to look into that. On our last note, though, nothing jumping out. So what did we hold on to? Super unimportant date note, but it could have something cool, so I'll put it in the description box if there's anything neat on October 23rd, 1082. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. The better find of our bill search is this kind of radar note. It's really beat up. I wouldn't expect to get too much for it, maybe a buck or two over face value for one, its condition, and then two, it's not a complete radar with like zeros in the middle or something like that. But it still is really cool. It's a cool fancy serial number, and hey, I gotta take what I can get. I got a bunch of other stacks of 2s, so hopefully you tune in to more videos. I will have lots of news videos coming out, and then a lot of tip videos and top 5s, top 20s, all that good noise. So check out the channel if you enjoy money like I do. Thank you so much for coming to the video, and let me know what you've come across in your coin and bill searches in the comments below. I will see you in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.